Alright, so hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today we're gonna take a quick look at the Kuva Ayanga, or rather my version of the Kuva Ayanga, the Chugugugugugug Kuva Ayanga. I don't think I could have gotten a better name for this. It sounds like something you would chant while dancing around a fire. But anyway, the Kuva Ayanga is our newest art gun, and it is an absolutely fantastic, fully automatic grenade launcher. And you get it just like any other Kuva weapon, you simply have to vanquish a lich that's wielding it. So depending on your luck, it might take a while before you get it. The weapon requires you to be at least Mastery rank 13 to use, and the base variant of it does 274 damage per shot, 187 as blast and 87 as impact. However, since this is a Kuva weapon that comes from a lich, you can have an additional damage type in there that's gonna vary based on the Warframe you spawn the lich with. I, for example, spawned mine with an arrow, so my Ayanga has extra heat damage, and you're also gonna have varying amounts of that extra element based on how lucky you get with the roll. And other than that, the weapon has a very solid 35% crit chance with a standard 2x crit multiplier and pretty good 20% status chance. And the only difference that's actually important between the Arcwing version and the Gravimag ground version is that the Arcwing version has a 1 second recharge time, whereas the ground Gravimag version has a 3 second reload. Actually, I lied, there is one more important difference that you will not find in the stats, and that's the explosion radius, which on ground is 6 meters and is clamming enormous in Arcwing. Seriously, the explosion radius on this in Arcwing mode is ridiculous. Now, on top of all of that, the weapon also has an Exceltra-like self-damage protection, meaning that the grenades will only arm after traveling 10 meters once they leave the barrel. And this is both good because you're not gonna explode yourself every time you pull the trigger, but also kind of bad because 10 meters is a lot, and it just does not work well in smaller rooms or tight hallways. Luckily though, the grenades will still do a decent amount of damage even if they don't explode. Now, this is a Kuva weapon, so you ideally want to put on 5 Forma so you get maximum capacity and you also get all the mastery from it. But you realistically only have to put on 1, which is going to be a V. And the build, or rather builds, are pretty straightforward. So we have Rubido Line Barrel for damage, Dual Rounds for multi-shot, Parallax Scope for crit chance, Hallowed Bullets for crit damage, and Ammo Chain for ammo maximum. Now, you don't necessarily need this, and it's mainly there just for faffing around in normal missions with the Gravimag, but it's also kind of nice to have for the Profit Taker in the beginning where you have the back-to-back art gun phases. And then just for faffing around, I went with dual stat mod, so I have Magma Chamber for heat and status, and then Contamination Casing as well as Charged Bullets for corrosive and status, and since I already have base heat on the weapon, I have almost an equal amount of heat and corrosive, so both of them proc very often, which is great for armor stripping, especially with the new heat proc. And then if I want to do the Profit Taker, or I want some serious damage in Arcwing, I'm gonna use this one, which runs Electrified Barrel and Combustion Rounds for an enormous amount of radiation, and then Polar Magazine for a little bit of code as well. Now the damage on the FAF setup, which is the one with corrosive and heat, is, well, not bad, let's just say. Plus it also has some nice crowd control from the innate blast damage, so once you start hitting enemies, they'll basically just keep rolling on the ground until they die. The only faction where the corrosive and heat setup doesn't work that well are the Corpus, which is to be expected, but it's still not too bad, it just takes a few more shots. And now, off to the Profit Taker we go. Now, I wasn't entirely sure what to expect from the weapon when I was going to do the Profit Taker, but I ended up being very pleasantly surprised. This is definitely one of the better art guns you can use against the Profit Taker. It shreds it very fast. It's definitely not the #1 art gun there for the Profit Taker. That title still stays with the Imperator Vandal, but it's definitely one of the best. And you could get some very swift kills if you were to combo this with something like Chroma. And finally, let's talk a little bit about Arcwing usability, which I didn't expect to be too terribly good either, but once again, I was very pleasantly surprised. And that's mainly due to the grenades having decently sized hitboxes, so it's not too hard to hit things, and of course the enormous explosion radius helps a ton. So as far as the Arcwing usability is concerned, it's pretty damn good. It's no Fluxus, but it is good. So there we go, that's the Kuva Ayanga. There are definitely some downsides here, mainly the 10-meter arming radius is a little bit too long and the 3-second reload isn't the best thing in the world either. but none of these come even close to overshadowing the sheer coolness of this gun. It's just so cool, and it feels amazing to pull the trigger on it as well. Not to mention that it's, pretty damn good across the board for, faffing around in normal missions, doing the Profit Taker, and in Archwing. So if you have a Gravimag on you and you see this weapon on your lich, definitely pick it up. It is just amazing. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say, so I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.